Everybody, it's David here. Welcome back to the channel. I've got another sea trial for you. This vessel, Poseidon, that you can see here in the workshop is featured on the update screen. So I was really interested to see if I could get it out for a sea trial. It looks great. Let me just flick through the pictures for you here. So it's a small offshore support vessel, sometimes offshore supply vessel. This is supports a general kind of cargo handling vessel. You can see here it's got a really nice bridge with these really cool kind of MFD type displays, and we'll credit here the creators later on. Crane positions, I actually haven't had a look inside. I just went straight to the bridge and drove it and immediately knew that this was something I had to sea trial because it behaves really well. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of a description. First of all, let's credit the creator. It's Lukewarm Hot Tub. I immediately subscribed to you, so well done. And I see you've got a lot of other nice creations here, which I will test in due time. Yeah, it's a realistic offshore supply vessel. It's got deck cranes, so you can put containers and cargo. It does 22 knots, which is like a realistic speed. So I really like ships like this because I'm kind of looking for a ship simulator experience when I play Stormworks. Although I do appreciate, the Spiders vessels which can get you to an emergency, at like 60 knots or something crazy like that. Yeah, the one thing I just want to mention here is Viper Byte, who's created these really nice MFD screens, which we'll have a proper look at. So instead of just looking through the pictures, let's get in. As you can see in the background, I've got my sea trials environment. It's basically just zero weather, and let's spawn her in. So she's here at my autosave. As you can see, it's quite a kind of petite, scaled down OSV. So it's not taking up this full workbench here. I quite like that. It feels very realistic. I don't think there are any OSVs that are quite this small. But as you can see, the detailing, everything about it makes it look really like a real ship. The hull shape forming is really good here. It's got two small props with a little pod, as you can see there. And a single rudder, and yeah, I really like the way this looks. It just looks realistic, and that's something that I personally like. So I usually do a little section cut here, so let's just slice through it. We can have a good look at what's going on. So you can see there, yeah, we've got stairs on that port side there, up and down access to that accommodation area. We've probably got crew spaces here, crew cabins. Maybe this is hospital space, more crew cabins down there, which is quite nice. We've got a big 5-cylinder modular engine, which I like. It's very sea-worthy, so it's right on the center line as far as I can tell there. And then behind that, we've got battery room, kind of auxiliary machinery room, and I like the position of that as well. That looks like good for your weight and center of gravity. So yeah, let's just spawn her in and take her out for a spin. So doesn't look extremely heavy, so I'm getting a little bit of sim slowdown. So let's just go across here onto the aft deck and start to have a look around. So some nice texturing going on here. This is very representative of the OSVs that I've seen in shipbuilding software. That's my background, of course. With this kind of tunnel up the side here. Not too sure what this is functionally, but I know it provides some form of protection for the crew. It also will help, keep your containers in. But this is something that I've seen on our demo ship that we used to use at Aviva. It has these side tunnels there, which you can access like that. So it's a really cool feature, and I think that's why probably what attracted me to this. Plenty of places to store containers. I think the creator said 10 is the kind of optimal. We've got a crane there which we can control. This looks like a container harness, which is nice. So is that strapped to the side, or is it just sitting there? It's locked onto the side, so that's really nice that it's delivered with the boat. I've got some sensor here, I think. Yeah, so really nice lighting along here, lovely pipe work. Let's just have a look and see what we've got here. So rope locker, that's perfect. As you know you need a lot of ropes when you're doing kind of OSV work, towing things. We've got some adapters here for the cranes, so that's really nice. That means we could put on different types of adapters, I think. Oh yeah, so this magnet one is onto this little winch here, so you could in theory put on that one there, which is really nice. Yeah, that's the second crane. They look about the same size. More rope lockers, more adapters, so it's really well kitted out for using it in missions and stormworks, which I like. So yeah, as expected, you have access into the forward spaces here. And let's just check it out on the other side. So the same thing, got windows looking into the space. So let's just have a go. We'll go in here. Auto lights, very nice. So we've got a sensor there. Our lights have come on. Got nice little portholes there that let you look out on the working deck. Yeah, inside, so looks like crew mess accommodation area, so vending machines. It's nice. I've seen those on a few creations. Some space here, good signage, nice post-it notes on the board there. Do we have auto lighting in here? Not yet. So this is, oh yeah, here we go. So this is the crew mess and the galley here. Very nice. I bet this is working as well. No? It's a nice gas burner. I wonder what these pieces are. With an extractor fan, a little clock. So very nice decorative work going in here, and even some ducting as well. So that is the crew mess we've come into. I'm assuming that's a locked cabin. So let's see what we can access from here. Doesn't do anything. All right. So there's no access forward of that. So it's quite a small vessel. This takes us back out to the side where, remember, we had the stairs. So that's the little arrow that we saw there. So access on one side. This takes us out to this foredeck here, and we have a little gate here for boarding, embarkation from a gangplank. Nice narrow walkway around here, but that's all you need. And we've got a gate on the other side. We've got some tie downs here for ropes, which is nice. Up onto this very nice sheltered foredeck. It looks very business-like. It feels big now. And it looks like we've got another 2 decks there. So there's going to be a nice space underneath here. This looks like decorative anchor winches. Really like that. So it looks really good there. So let's go down the other side. See what we've got. Back into that access way. So we've got another galley crew mess area here. Restroom. So, a surprisingly large restroom with a working cubicle. That's neat. And a urinal. Really nice. I assume, oh yeah, ladies with 2 cubicles. That's a nice touch. This goes out to that side deck again. Yeah, so really nice detailing going on here. TV. This goes out onto that aft view deck here, and then we'll go back up to the bridge. So this is, I think this is the accommodation deck under the bridge. So we do have equipment room, a rest room. Nice. And this will be access to the bridge. So we've got loads of equipment in here. Everything you could possibly want. It's really nicely nestled in there, just like a ship should be. Everything is kind of compact. This is a crew cabin. This is a crew cabin. So single cabin, nice bookshelf, with their own ensuite. And then another one here. Love to do this, operate this thing with a few people. Do a real sort of multiplayer thing. So that's just a void space, but a nice little area here. Just under the stairs, more post-it note boards. And then we're up onto the bridge. Love it. So let's just put the lights on. Now, this has got a really good feel for an OSV bridge. Feels just about the right size. Maybe slightly smaller than something you get in real life. We've got here, this is our crane operator space. So I'm not going to do that, but let's just get in the seat. Oh yeah, it said twine pins. Oh, they're nice. They pop up. So the creator did say that they're not useful. They're not usable, just for decoration. But that's pretty cool. That's something that I've never seen before, but it's pretty clear what it does. It's like a mechanism to stabilize the main tow rope, I assume. Pretty cool. Spotlight, water cannon, control handle. Ooh, this is a new thing. So, look at that. So this is a new block, this control handle. That is cool. So very good water cannons. I'd like to do some firefighting in this. And then up to the bridge where I have been briefly. So the start procedure is basically using this main thing here. So there's a generator. It says it doesn't run great when the other engines are on. So let's just start pumps. And I can hear that modular engine spooling up. Not too sure what this is. That's a fire extinguishing system. Yeah, so you can hear my engines. I'm just going to adjust the sound in. Oh, sorry, I had it up absolutely full. Sorry, I had my desktop sounds up really high there. So sorry about that in the recording. Right, so that's engine started. It's as simple as that. We've got some good air conditioning, all this pipe work that you do get on the ceiling of these vessels. So now get ready for this. So this is a very simple affair. We've got backlights, monitors. And you can see this great MFD system. So basically you can just configure your screens as you would like them. And this is something, funnily enough, we've been looking at a little bit with Oslo University about the design of standardizing some of the design of these screens that you see, and eventually augmented reality displays. And if anybody works on vessels, you know that these screens are not standardized. So let's do CCTV over there. Let's do radar, nav, engines. So engines are running 360 RPMs, batteries are good, temperatures are good. What should we do over here? Fuel, depth. I would probably have a bit closer, to be honest. Let's do depth. And fuel, radar is there. Turn it on. Wow, really, really, really nice Lua work to get these screens going. So yeah, this is simply a case of tapping forward. You see those engines spooling up, and she moves off at a nice sort of realistic, sedately speed. You can see there. Of course, bubbles but a bit wider than it would be in real life. It's hard to get that sort of zero thickness on Stormworks ships, but there you go. Two little podded propellers. I'm just increasing the thrust here. So those propellers don't steer, but we do have a big rudder. As you can see there, it moves nice and slowly. I do have an engine audio mod on, or the one that mods loads of sounds. So let's just take her out. So as I said, wow, that's quite a nice resolution on that monitor. She does a realistic speed. So you can see here 18 knots. Let's just do that speed trial. So these engines are kind of being modulated by some kind of automation scripts here. Temperature's climbing. Engines kind of bouncing a bit. Alright, they've settled. So 19 knots is what I'm getting out of it. I think I've maxed out here. They're at full throttle. 19, 21, 22 it did say before. Which is slow compared to other Stormworks creations, but that is kind of what you're going to be doing in a ship. So let's try turning circle. I usually just end up doing a half turning circle, because it takes quite a long time. So that's a nice kind of speed, and I think she's leaning out as expected. The center of gravity is kind of up high. So a lot of people design their boats so they turn in like speedboats, but that's not realistic for larger vessels. The center of gravity here swings out basically because of the centrifugal force as you do your turn. Right, like that. So we're going to keep going at full speed. We'll bring in the wind, so 50%. I did a bit of testing. You might notice that I turned the wind up to 100 and test it pretty much immediately after turning the wind up. If you go out to more open water and if you leave that wind running for a while, your waves will get significantly better. But in order to just test in a similar environment, I don't really let the wind build up, in case you're wondering. So yeah, she handles, I think, realistically, let's say. So it doesn't look like she's got too much heavy stabilization going on. These waves being pretty small at 50% for any kind of larger vessel. It's just the sort of speedboats and small rescue vessels that get affected. I would say the water line there, probably, your bulbous bow is usually completely under the water line from a design point of view. That's the only thing I've noticed. So that whole bulbous bow probably needs to be sort of made slightly smaller and moved down if possible. Or you might want to consider moving your waterline mark up like one block perhaps, maybe just a basic observation. So you can see there she's slicing through these waves very nicely. She's got a little bit of pitch going on, pitching, not so bad. See what it's like from in the bridge, bobbing up and down very slightly. It's quite nice if you come off the seat and you get the vessel moving around the player in a sort of realistic way. So that's hardly noticeable, I would say. So really good handling in that half wind, and let's just bring her up to full wind now. The creator did say it gets a bit tippy in full wind and a broad quartering sea. Pretty much most vessels start to behave pretty odd when the wind is full. So you can see here though, she's got a really nice realistic physics going on. So she's jumping out the water. That's just game engines generally can't do that kind of weight accurately, but I like it. I think she's been pushed up at the nose actually. The wind simulation pushes against that surface area that you see there. So she's coming out of the water way more than I would expect, but generally more realistic than the majority of vessels in Stormworks. Just out of interest, going to see how the speed is affected. So it's come down to 12 knots. So again, that would be realistic if you've got something that could do about 22 knots, and you've got, I don't know, what's that, 100 knots of wind or 100 kilometers an hour of wind on the nose. It would slow you down. I'm not too sure it would slow you down that much, but it's a pretty good indication. So all these screens, of course, are interactable. That's a pretty cool system on this vessel here. Alright, so one thing I did notice when I took this vessel out before is that she can't hold her course into the wind. The wind simply pushes the superstructure over, and she kind of weather vanes away from the wind as if the superstructure is catching more wind. So you can see I've got full port rudder. Here she comes. She managed a little bit, but I think it's because she's not moving fast through the water. So she really struggles there. Let's just leave her with a beam on wind. The creator said that she was a bit tippy. I'm really hoping that this doesn't have too much stability. I don't see the usual fins and things that you see in the stability systems. I don't see any fins, just ports. And this is something I'd like to see more of, just vessels that don't have stabilization systems and react like this, like they would in the ocean. I don't think you'd get a heavy vessel like this tipping over just from wind alone. But there are sort of design criteria for vessels, and you might have something in the vessel that says do not take out if the wind is over 100 knots or something crazy like that. So there are some kind of recommendations, but it's an ocean going vessel. Basically, ocean going vessels are designed to go out in the ocean. Ooh. So here we go. This was really nice. So we're getting severe roll, and what you can maybe hear is that these propellers are emerging, and we're getting a little bit of engine overrun, which I think is great as well. So can't get it to tip. I think if I let these winds build up and the waves build up, maybe she would tip over, but generally she's surfing with the waves now, and looking pretty good at it. So really like the way this boat handles. So let's just put it back down to sort of a moderate wind, and then usually I test the lights. So at the moment we'll just put nav lights on. We've got anchors here. Was there a separate lighting board here? Now that I can see here. So lighting. Let's turn some of these on. So there's a bunch of spotlights here. Oh, got a ladder here. Oh, let's just finish the tour. So, oh, that's nice. Access up to this bridge. There's that cool water cannon, but you've got a flexible hose on it. Love that. That's a great design. Yeah, so access up here. Here's your exhaust ports with some fake exhaust there. So I love this. This is great. It's a great addition. Right, I was going to do the final part, which is just a nighttime run. So just going to check, see if there's any more lights that I've missed here. Not that I can see. Is there anything else here? No. So let's just do nighttime. Nav lights are on, and we've got all our spotlights on, so she looks pretty neat cruising along at night time. You got spotlights, working lights for the foredeck, working lights for the aft deck. Let's just go back and turn all those working lights off. So to put the bridge night lights on, and we're gonna you've got deck lights. Deck lights are just the normal lights like that. Let's try that. See what she looks like. Yeah, so that's nice. Must admit, the lighting in Stormworks does look great. Really like this vessel. Especially, it's a new creator for me. Never seen any of your work, and this is a brilliant vessel. It's going to go to my favourite list, maybe a daily driver. And I'll try and do some missions with her. So that's all from me. That is the Poseidon OSV by, let me just check it again, Lukewarm Hot Tub. Really like your creation. Subscribe to it, and let me know if I've missed something or misunderstood something in my review. And yeah, see you on the next Stormworks Sea Trials. Bye for now.